In this week's episode of the PokéBears podcast,
your mouth is weird when you talk.
It's because I'm the demon Scorchmachine! Yeah! And then she stabs them. My theory is Oak killed Tracy. So he has to, recreate this, background that has Tracy feeding Nidorans. He's like, okay, that'll work. And then he just stretched that out, posted it over his wall, probably in front of Tracy's dead body. The PokéBears! Oh no, what's that? You're in the Arctic. Why are you in the Arctic? It's because you followed your eccentric uncle to find a mysterious relic from a pirate named Davy Mike. But then your uncle died because he was eaten by a polar bear. And now you're gonna die. Oh wait, no you're not. Wait, yes you are because a grizzly bear came up. It's the PokéBears!
Nick, do you plan these out ahead of time, or do you just
say
the first shit that comes to your head?
It's all on top of my head.
Alright, that's kind of what I figured. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the PokéBears podcast, where we review the Pokemon anime 5 episodes at a time.
And then talk about random Pokemon
stuff. Our first episode on the dockets today is episode 144.
A Shadow of a Drought. Get
Nick,
it? Because
don't
it
you
rhymes
mean
with
a
doubt. No, I don't! I mean drought! Forrest, it's okay. Stop crying.
I can't help it.
Okay,
You
well,
yelled at me.
you doubted my integrity of getting the title right.
Alright, so this episode starts off with Ash and crew walking in a desert?
And then Bruce says,
A Neo-desert?
last time Ash caught a Centiquil, and now he's got... And that gave him burning bright ambitions. Now it's the sun's turn. And then I wondered how much therapy Bruce is getting.
Not enough or too much is the answer.
By the way, for those just joining us for your first episode, I don't know why. This is episode 37. Usually I look 38. For episode 38. I usually look for 1, but Bruce is the name of the narrator.
We gave it to him. It's not his actual name.
No, it's his actual name. I checked.
Really?
No.
Oh. Should have kept that going. You had me fooled.
No, well then yes.
Okay. So they're in the desert and they're thirsty because, it's fucking desert. Fucking sucks. And Misty's like, go Staryu, use water gun to cool us off. And Staryu does that, and then Ash is like, Squirtle, use water gun on my face. And it does. And it hurts him. Because it's a Squirtle using water gun, and we've seen it use a water gun to blast through a fucking boat. So Ash is...
The fact that Ash is alive is a miracle.
It really is. His face is horribly disfigured for the rest of the episode.
It's hard to look at him. but
what the fuck did you expect?
I guess that's the moral of children's shows, is you gotta accept everyone.
And also, don't let your pet animal do the one thing it's really amazing at doing in your fucking face.
What if it's like
if you had a pet dog that was really good at fetching, don't make it fucking fetch your face.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now.
If you had a pet monkey that was really good at punching things, don't make it punch your fucking face.
Well, what if you have a cat that's really good at nuzzling?
Okay, maybe that's the exception.
So then we see Team Rocket,
yeah.
And they're also drudging through this pseudo-desert. And then Meowth has a canteen of water, and he's all like, yay, water! And then the rest of Team Rocket's all, hey, I forgot we had water. Why don't you give us some, Meowth? Meowth's like, sure. There's no water left, and they're like, Meowth, why do this? We were all supposed to have an even share. And Meowth's like, yeah, but my share's on the bottom. Ha ha ha, I'm funny. And then Team Rocket,
kill him?
It kills Meowth.
Pretty brutal. This is a really brutal episode, Nick.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of gore that they use in this episode.
The fact that WB Kids allowed this to be shown on Saturday mornings was kind of revolutionary.
Awesome,
yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 4 Voltorbs. For the gore entirely.
For the gore entirely.
For the gore. That's the only reason. Turns out they have a fucking tank, a fucking Diglett tank underground.
Mark II.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so Meowth programmed a fucking Diglett tank to follow them. Why didn't they put some extra provisions in there? At least like a gallon jug of water or something.
This is a group of individuals who don't purchase Pokeballs.
No.
And the only way they get food is by conning an old friend of theirs into giving it to them.
Yeah.
So I don't think they really prepare for basic necessities.
They don't prepare. This episode actually has the Slowpoke well in it.
Yeah. We're actually in Azalea Town, and this episode technically follows the canon.
It does. It takes some liberties with it, but I mean, it follows the basic structure of it, so it's pretty cool.
You go to Azalea Town, Kurt goes to the Slowpoke well, he breaks his back, and
does hurt his
Team
back.
Rocket is doing Team Rocket things.
They do. They're trying to steal. They're not trying to steal the Slowpoke to cut off all their tails and eat them. They're trying to steal the Slowpoke so that they can sell the rain.
Meanwhile, in Azalea Town.
Ash steps on a Slowpoke, which was adorable. It took like a second for it to realize it was in pain, and then it was like, slow.
Now, keep in mind, before that happened, there were no people.
Deserted town.
Completely deserted town. Like, the only living things we saw were the trees and Slowpokes. Nothing else. Then, like, right after the Slowpoke starts bellowing,
like 50 people.
But they, like, turn in, like, slowly. Like, first it's a kid, and he's like, hey, what? He stepped on a Slowpoke. 2 more adults come in, and then all of a sudden 5, and then 50. Like, where were all of them?
That's a good question. It's like they just materialized out of nothing.
Maybe they're psychic.
How did they even find out that quickly? Like, even if they were all standing, like, right there, right when it happened, how did they find out that quickly?
So the Slowpokes are psychic types, right? They telepathically summoned all of those people, and they are like the mind slaves of these Slowpoke.
Oh, dude. It's so sad.
Yeah. And because they are part psychic type, they are able to get away with it because their telepathy is that powerful.
Cutting back to Team Rocket again, because, you know, one plotline. Well, okay, so the townsfolk are, like, chasing Ash and crew. And Ash and crew are like, dude, it was an accident. And the townsfolk are like, murder them! Murder them! They harmed a Slowpoke! Did he kick it? Did he punch it? I don't care. We gotta fucking kill this kid!
Did he bite it? Which I thought was clever, because that alludes to biting Slowpoke tails.
That's true. So then cut back to Team Rocket. They've made their way underground in the Diglett, like, tank. I don't know why they have so many tanks shaped like Pokemon, but yeah, whatever. It's a Pokemon show.
You get a discount on tank purchases when you make it shaped like a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. They're chasing after Slowpoke to try to catch them, but they're evading Team Rocket just by rolling away, which is really cute.
Oh, yeah, because, like, they get out of the tank in order to try and catch them.
And then Meowth is like, I'm going to use my secret weapon. And James was like, why didn't we just use the secret weapon right away?
In the first place. Yeah. Like, don't make it a secret weapon, just make it a weapon.
Really good point. You have, like, a fucking tank at your disposal. Why wouldn't you just march through town just like, hey, guys, I got a fucking tank?
Spend the money you would on buying tanks to buy supplies and Pokeballs to catch Pokemon. Catch these Slowpokes so you can sell their rain.
So what was the fucking secret weapon?
It was the tank.
Was it the tank?
They were going to use the tank.
Okay, great.
So, back to the mainland. Ash and crew lost the mob somehow. Magic bullshit. I don't know.
And they find Kurt dressed in... Okay, well, it's not revealed as Kurt yet, but...
They find a mysterious fellow who is in no way possibly Kurt.
Dressed as a Slowpoke.
And they all assumed it was a Slowpoke. And we discussed this, like... Why are costumes so effective?
Yeah, in this universe, like, you point out, this costumes must be, like, just have been invented, like, yesterday. Because no one's ever seen a costume before. It's like the invention of lying. It's like, no one can comprehend, like, a costume.
Disguising oneself as someone else.
Yeah.
That's why Team Rocket's able to get away with, like, their shitty disguises.
Yeah. I really wish that was, like, in canon somewhere, because that would have been really clever. And also funny, and a way to cover up all your plot holes.
It would have been the perfect trifecta of explanation.
It really would have. looks like costumes were literally just invented and most people haven't caught on yet.
So Kurt gives him some free Slowpoke costumes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's fucking generous as shit.
It really is.
How much work does he put into those things?
That is a good question. And also, the Slowpoke costumes are goddamn adorable when they're being worn by Ash and crew. I really wish Pikachu had his own little tiny Slowpoke costume.
And it would be like... Pika... Yeah, but that's Pikachu impersonating
You should wait until the end of the review to go, chew.
So they were able to get away from the townsfolk because they disguise themselves.
And then I guess they leave not Kurt for some reason.
Kurt leaves because he's like, oh shit, I forgot.
That's right, he's going down to the Slowpoke wall. Then they go up to this random ass house and stop this random ass girl, and they're like, hey, where's Kurt? And she's like pointing at the house like,
there.
Literally right here.
So they knock on the door, make an ass of themselves for like 10 seconds, and then the girl says, oh yeah, Kurt's not there.
And they're like, wow, lady, you are literally the worst.
Why are you so detail drawn if you're going to be in this scene for like 5 seconds too? Like,
and what is wrong with your mouth? Your mouth is weird when you talk.
Like, we're able to like bullshit our way out of it by just flapping our mouths in correct motion, but it's very off with you. Why?
It really
Explain
is. Why
yourself.
is it so off?
It's because I'm the demon Glorgishide! Yeah! And then she stabs them.
Gotta watch out for the demon Glorgashoid.
You gotta... Glorgashoid is malevolent being.
I forgot to mention the cool animation during not Kurt's story.
Oh
yeah, that was actually a pretty cool animation.
Ye old animation.
Ye old Pokemon animation.
Like the folktale animation.
Yeah, it did. It looked good. Man, and I have no other notes between that and the fucking end. They
let's
pretty much
see.
just Team Rocket chases around the Slowpoke and they stop them. Sorta.
Well, actually, that's the exact same thing with me. Yeah, so they go down to the Slowpoke well.
Yeah.
There's a battle scene. Team Rocket introduces themselves to the Ash and crew. Kurt breaks his back in that scene. Then
the Slowpoke just kind of leave. They just kind of bugger off, go outside, and then they call the rain.
So, wait. Team Rocket did manage to capture, like, 12 Slowpoke.
They did, yeah, they did.
And got away. But now Ash is, like, all sad and like, oh, they're getting away. And the Slowpoke summoned the rain and
then floods fucking Team Rocket.
To death.
And then they blast through the earth, I guess. And then they're like, that was shitty. And then the Slowpoke get away from them.
And then Ash uses Pikachu to blast them off.
Oh shit! Yeah. I thought he used Bulbasaur and Chikorita to like use their vines to like tie up Team Rocket, and then he called Officer Kennedy, who came and like arrested the shit out of them.
And then he collected like their 500 million Poké-Yen bounty.
Yeah. Isn't
no.
that what happened?
No, that's not what happened.
Damn. I really had that wrong. So at the very end of the episode, they discover that the old man is Kurt.
What?
Yeah, I know. The one man that they were looking for the whole episode was this mysterious man that was in the whole episode. Why didn't they just tell him it was Kurt? Why was that like a reveal?
It's not like they asked him who Kurt was, like, or like if he's Kurt. Like,
maybe it was just like they were covering up the fact that they forgot to introduce the fact that he's Kurt to them. Like, they forgot to do that when they were writing the episode. They got to the end episode, and they were like, shit. Oh, well, just fuck. I don't feel like writing another scene. Just add a line at the end.
It's probably more because I think the writing team just really likes character reveals. Like, if they don't have a reason to immediately reveal a character, they're going to hold off until...
That is true. That is very true.
That has been their constant. One thing I want to get back to real quick. Ash's top priority to get into Azalea Town was going to the gym battle.
Yeah.
And Misty was like, but don't we have to do the GS ball? And Ash is like, fuck off, the GS ball can wait. And then the gym turns out to be closed. And then Ash is like, well, I guess, like I said, we better return the GS ball. I just like how Ash is kind of a dick that way.
He is. Kurt just completely closes off a plot point. He's like, oh yeah, also everyone now knows that you stepping on a Slowpoke was an accident. And I was like, oh.
Again, telepathic link from the Slowpokes.
They just know that now.
They know. Well, they weren't even disguised when they were looking for Kurt. Though,
yeah, I know. What'd you think of this episode, Nick?
I give it 2 Voltorbs.
I did too.
Because it's not a bad episode, but it's not a good episode.
No.
It moves along at a good pace, but it has a lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah, there were just, like, no stakes.
I mean, there were stakes.
No, there weren't, because, like, yeah, this town is dry, but we've seen that just water Pokemon, you can just use that and you'll have water now. And this town is fucking full of Slowpoke.
This is a whole town, though.
Full of Slowpoke.
The Slowpoke are wild, and you can't catch them because, like, the Slowpoke are secret.
And all they had to do was yawn. Plus, everyone that we met in this town was a dick until, like...
Oh, the Slowpokes don't yawn, though. They take, like, they're too omniscient in order to yawn. Because they are aware of everything in the universe.
I wish shaking your head back and forth made a sound.
I mean, if you shake it hard enough, your neck will creak.
Next episode?
Next episode.
Episode number 140-something? 5. 145.
Going Apricorn! Oh, no! My brain! It's Apricorning!
So, as Nick is demonstrating, if you say Apricorn instead of Apricorn, the fucking title doesn't make any goddamn sense. What the fuck does it mean to be going Apricorn?
I don't know.
It's a stupid title.
So you have to mispronounce it Apricorn.
Apricorn, which sounds weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Like it feels like an ape with corn.
Yes. Apricorn. Ape with corn. So this girl looks like a sentient puppet. Goigashoy.
Goigashoy? Her mouth's even worse now!
I know.
So this girl who was in the last episode, the reason she's overly detailed is because she's a prominent character in this one.
Who we reveal her real name is Maisie or something, but we're not gonna call her that.
We're calling her Goigashoy because it's a more fitting name.
It is. She looks like someone brought back to life a wooden like dummy and then wasn't sure how to fucking make it work. So they just were like, just start talking, and then it went blah. They're like, ugh. Let me put some blush on your cheeks so you look like you're at least alive. And she's like, bleh!
See, my theory was someone did the snitches get stitches thing to her, but she never got the stitches. Her mouth just naturally healed, and now she has a super wide mouth.
The Dahlia smile.
Like the Dahlia smile.
Yeah.
Like the smile as wide as the girl from Old Yeller. The little girl has like a really wide mouth in Old Yeller. It threw me off.
I've never really noticed that before.
Yeah.
Ash gives... the most anticlimactic scene I've ever seen. Ash gives Kurt the GS ball. He's like, here you go. Just hands it over.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, here's the GS ball. It is so strange and mysterious, but also cool, and we want to learn about it. She's like, here you go.
We had a lot of misadventures with it, and I really hope you can help us understand it. And Kurt's like, well... And then, like, everyone's all, like, suspenseful. Well, it looks like a Pokeball. And then everyone's like, pratfall.
Misty throws Togepi up in the air when she does it.
Togepi, like, cheers a little bit. Like, that was fun.
And then when she, like, glares at Kurt, she just catches Togepi very casually. It was, like, Misty's best moment. Also,
that was probably the best
animated moment in this episode, too.
Yeah.
Because this
exactly what I was going to say.
This episode has some really sloppy animation. Once they leave Kurt's house, the animation just really goes downhill in this episode.
So, because they just gave the GS ball to Kurt, Ash and crew call Professor Oak and tell them that they just gave the GS ball to Kurt. Why couldn't Kurt just be like, oh yeah, I know Professor Oak, let me call him, and...
I don't... They want to make Ash feel like he's doing things.
And then you pointed him out. I didn't even notice him. Tracy's there.
Yeah, well, he's painted into the fucking background because that's how much of a shit the fucking Pokemon Company gives about Tracy.
My theory is Oak killed Tracy because he was so goddamn annoying. But Oak doesn't want to go to jail for murder, and he knows that, like, Ash knows who Tracy is, so he has to, like, recreate this, like, background that has Tracy feeding Nidorans. He's like, okay, that'll work. And then he just stretched that out, posted it over his wall, probably in front of Tracy's dead body. And that's why Tracy doesn't move at all, because it's a picture.
Hey, Tracy, I see you in the background there. Through the side of Oak's mouth. Hey, Ash, I'm Tracy. Tracy, why are you still feeding those Nidorans? Why don't you talk to me?
They're really hungry.
They're really hungry. Well, I'll see you later, Ash. This is how I've always talked. And Ash is like, I really don't remember, so yeah, probably.
Probably. You have fun, Tracy. I won't. I believe that.
And that's the most interesting thing that happens in this episode. Because the rest of this episode is, hey, look, it's the Apricorns. We got black ones and
blue ones.
And here's a red one and some yellow ones. And don't pick them yet because they're not ripe.
And if you pick them when they're not ripe, you're going to ruin the trees. And if you ruin the trees, you're going to ruin the forest. And if you ruin the forest, you're going to ruin the mountains. And if you ruin the mountains, I'm going to keep going till everyone dies. The demon child going to shine.
Not only did you blow out the levels on your own mic, you blew out the levels on my eardrums.
You're welcome. Team Rocket's in this episode.
Yeah, well, what did they do?
Well, the first time...
They dug a hole.
Well, before they dug a hole, they were plotting behind a bush that they just used to disguise themselves.
It was like a cardboard bush.
It's a cardboard bush they lift and carry. And that was a good gag.
I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that to be a cardboard bush. I think that was pretty funny.
I wish the rest of your time on this episode was as good.
Yeah. That's the type of joke that only works in an animated show, but it fucking worked.
A lot of things about Team Rocket only works in an animated show.
Yeah, well, that's what makes them cartoon characters. They dig a hole and Ash and crew fall in it, and then they get out because Bulbasaur, and then Team Rocket go to put a vacuum on the Apricorn, because their plan is to steal the Apricorns to sell to people, or to make Kurt make into Pokeballs so that they can.
He's
then,
not going to make them. For you.
What is their plan?
Like,
their plan doesn't make sense.
Kurt,
I mean, I know most of their plans don't make sense, but this one is just like
makes no sense.
Like, they're putting all this effort into.
Kurt gave Ash and crew fastballs, so that way, like, because they helped prevent Team Rocket from stealing Slowpoke.
Life.
And saved Kurt's life. Kurt is not going to give the people that he gave a reward for defeating more Pokeballs. That's not how it works.
So, yeah, they're like, we're going to vacuum the Apricorns off the tree, because that's how fruit works. And then they fall into a hole. And it was a Diglett. And they're gone now.
They fall off a cliff.
They fall off. Goes through the tunnel. They fall off a cliff.
But they did not say they're blasting off again.
So therefore, they come back.
They do.
Which
but we'll get.
I would have had a modicum of more respect for this episode if they had just vanished from the rest of this, because it was just so unceremonious how they just like they fell down the hole and Ash and crew up to the hole and they're like, "That's a hole that they fell down."
Thanks, Diglett.
Thanks, Diglett. And the Diglets are like, "We will eat your souls."
But you're welcome. One of the trees earlier is protected by Pineco.
Yeah.
And Misty's like, "Oh, those are scary looking," and Brock's like, "Those are cool. They're like grenades." And so, as a Pokemon breeder, he's excited for the opportunity to raise them, so that way he can do a good job at Poke breeding. That's his thing.
He wants to figure out how it fucks. He's looking at Pineco and he's like, "Where's this thing's penis? I need to figure out how this thing fucks. No, it's bothering me now." And Ash is like, "Just leave it alone, Brock." And he's like, "No, there's no vagina. There's not even a poop hole. Like, where does poop even come out on this goddamn thing? It's just a pine cone. I know it's supposed to be like a bagworm or whatever, but it's just a pine cone. This doesn't even have a mouth. It has eyes, but no mouth or vagina or penis or poop hole."
Maybe they're like bed bugs and they have to stab each other in order to fornicate.
Gross.
I assume the pinecoes are bagworms and they just go outside of the pine cone that they're in, and they become coes.
Cool. They become coes. Can we talk about for a second how Pineco has one of the worst names of all Pokemon? It's just Pinecone without the "n" at the end.
It's up there. I think it's the seal of this generation.
Seal, Spheal, Pineco.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kind of terrible.
Okay, so clearly, as you can tell by the way we're viewing the plot of this episode had no goddamn plot.
No. There was a Beedrill chase in this episode.
There was.
That's the second Beedrill chase in like less than 10 episodes.
Man, they were out of ideas in this goddamn thing. Just no. Like, this didn't need to be a whole episode. Like, they were like, okay, so for the lineup, we're going to have, like, Ash saves Kurt from the well, then they're going to pick up some Pokeballs from Kurt, and then in the third episode, they're going to do the gym, and then they were like, then they came to the second episode, and they were like, oh, fuck. We didn't give ourselves shit for this one. Team Rocket's going to have a fucking fan on a bike, then.
So Team Rocket comes back with a fan on the bike.
With a fan on a bike. And that's the thing they're doing.
They're just gonna blow off all the apricorns off the trees, which includes the Pineco.
And then one of the Pineco's like, I'm gonna fuck them up, and Brock's like, no!
Don't self-destruct, don't kamikaze yourself.
No! And he catches it.
With the fastball that he was given earlier.
The fastball he was given earlier, even though Pinecos are slow, right?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like
he was running at the time.
Gloigashoid was like, use the fastball, and Brock's like, yes! And I'm like, that's okay.
That's a waste of a fastball.
It's a waste of a fastball.
That you just saw Suicune, you could probably use it on
Nope.
that. Okay.
Alright, alright, well, he has Pineco now. Which fits him.
Yeah.
It's a Pokemon that fits Brock.
It's like, it's got that, it has sturdy. Basically, if a Pokemon has sturdy, Brock could have it.
Yeah. Plus a Zubat.
Plus a Zubat and a
which
Vulpix.
are found in caves, and Vulpix, which I...
Pokemon breeding.
Yeah, sure.
Brock catches the Pineco and
a Pikachu, probably electric Team Rocket.
The first time he tried it, they had like an electric umbrella that absorbed the electricity.
But the Pineco knocked Team Rocket off the bike.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So Pikachu then destroys the bike.
Destroys the bike, and Team Rocket
blasts off.
And then Ash, the plot is complete with Ash getting an Apricorn.
They got some blue ones, and then Ash got a black one,
which will be the heavy ball.
The heavy ball, yeah. So they got some lower balls and heavy balls probably coming up soon.
So what'd you think of this episode?
I gave it.
Jesus fuck.
You know, I'm struggling because I initially gave it 1.5. I wonder if I should give it a 1.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's like, what fucking happened in this goddamn... Like, nothing about this was, like, infuriating.
The only thing infuriating was, like, Gloigashoid to yourself.
Yeah.
And the overuse of Team Rocket.
And the occasional bad animation, but there's just nothing to this episode.
You know what was annoying me? Like, for the first, I think 4... No, it was the first 3 trees. The first one was like, oh, they're not ripe yet. I'll fucking kill you if you try and pick them. Then Pineco were protecting them. Then Beedrills were protecting them. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the 4th tree they got to, Gloigashoid found out she had breast cancer and was going into shock from it. And so the ambulance was, like, blocking the way off to the tree. It was just a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then they get to the one tree, and she's like, oh yeah, you can pick the apricorns off this one, and then Team Rocket's like, haha, we're going to pick them, and then they're like, oh, those maniacs, and then, so what? They want to pick apricorns, let them pick apricorns, it's a free goddamn country, you bitch. And then they didn't pick the apricorns off the tree after Team Rocket was blasted away.
No, they didn't.
Why didn't they?
No, wait, that was the blue one. They picked the ones off the blue one.
Okay.
It was the black one that they, for some reason, did.
Is this like? Who gives a shit?
I'm
giving it a 1 because who gives a shit?
I'm giving it a 1 too. I want to point out. They did not talk about green apricorns at all. The one that gives you the friend ball. My theory is that the idea of a ball that helps with friendship fucks up the whole point of the show, which is like, oh no, you only catch the Pokemon you are friends with. So like it would be introduced like some form of brainwashing, which that's kind of fucked up when you think about it, like in game.
It is, yeah.
Like with the luxury ball.
I was gonna say, don't they like retcon that to the luxury ball in later generations?
So the friend ball, I think, helps Pokemon level up friendship faster. The luxury ball starts off their friendship at a higher base.
Okay.
It's one of the...
Wait, no, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Okay.
Yeah, because luxury ball is just like a really nice Pokemon, so they're like all comfy and shit in there.
Yeah.
Friendship ball is like, I automatically like you a little bit.
Maybe like the initial conversion into energy doesn't hurt as much.
Maybe. I think we've spent way too much time on this episode.
Yeah. It's one.
It's a fucking one.
It's unexploded, but it's one.
No, it would have been a one if it had done anything, but it didn't do anything. So it's a one. Because who gives a shit?
Jesus Christ.
Next episode. Episode number 146.
Getting the bugs out of my hair and head. Because they laid eggs in my brain. So this episode, Ash fights Bugsy.
Alright, and that was our review of this episode. I am almost genuinely want to say, yep, that's our review of it, and just give our score and move on, because that was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing.
It was literally the whole thing.
Bugsy has like the worst gym leader voice so far. I understand it's supposed to fit the gender neutral body, but it's annoying.
It's just like, hey, random actress, come over here. Can you make a little kid voice? Sure can.
I'm Bugsy.
And it's like, all right, well, that's it. That's our voice right there. And then, what'd you think of Bugsy as a character?
He was a gym leader and wore short shorts.
What'd you think of the battle?
Dodge is not a fucking action. Like, it's not a thing you can tell your Pokemon to do. Like, okay, like foreshadow. This is some foreshadowing here. I don't like dodging. I hate it when people tell their Pokemon to dodge, and it's the most aggravating thing to me in the Pokemon show can do.
It does it kind of a lot.
Yeah, and it will keep doing it.
Really badly at a point.
Really badly at a point.
Well, okay, so aside from not following the canonical rules, like, they just make up moves. Like poison string, electric attack.
Poison string would admittedly be a sweet-ass move.
It is. Well, it is one now. Toxic thread. At a point, Bugsy tells Metapod to just jump in the air, and it does. I don't know fucking how. It's not a spring, and it doesn't have legs.
So, this Metapod, it has a fully developed Butterfree inside of it. It just hasn't evolved, quotation marks. So I'm guessing the Butterfree just flaps its wings like really, really fucking hard, and then that lifts the Metapod. The vibration lifts it up.
I hope my cat's tags aren't in this audio too much. I'm sorry if it is. I mean, aside from it being canonically not in line with the Pokemon rules, the battle's not bad. It's just...
It's not good.
Dodge, yeah.
It's dodge.
And they make up their own... Like, they just make up their rules. It literally feels like two kids like, I'm doing Swords Dance, so I can't be affected by fire. And it's like, that's not how Swords Dance
I'll
works.
just also spin so the fire will, like, also hit you.
Yeah, like, it's not... They're at a point, they're just kind of making up their own rules, and it's not exciting or interesting.
It's not.
Because you're not following the rules that you've established up to this point for battles to follow.
You pointed this out earlier, and it makes sense. Ash probably gave up his Charizard for the writing purposes, that otherwise he would blow through this gym.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be... It'd be like, I have a Scyther that's not weak to fire type... Oh, God.
Oh, God, why did you cripple its back?
Joe. Scyther. Scyther, breathe, please. Scyther. It's okay, we can sew your head back onto your body.
And then Charizard just singes the rest of it. It's sweet scent, not sweet smell.
That was another one. They said sweet smell instead of sweet scent.
Like, this script was real bad.
They didn't give a fuck. This is definitely one where the dub just didn't give a fuck. At one point, Cyndaquil is about to launch a fire attack or whatever, and Brock looks to Misty and goes, Misty, look! And I'm like, I want Misty to be like, I am, you close-eyed bastard.
Misty's like smelling her own farts or something, and Frog's like, Misty, look! Come on!
Misty's texting on her phone. Like, texting isn't a thing yet, but she's doing it.
She's doing it. She was so bored, she invented a whole new way of communication.
Shit. Team Rocket digs a hole underneath them. James pokes his head out and
I didn't even notice
accidentally electrocutes them. Yeah. And they even have, like, a weirdly, like, genre-specific theme this time around.
Yeah,
for, like, no reason.
It was awesome. But then they switched back to, like, the normal theme.
Halfway through?
And I'm like, why? Just stick with it.
They were doing, like, some kind of weird, like, hip-hop, like...
Hip-hop ballad.
World from devastation.
From devastation. It was a slow jazz.
And then it's like, oh, we're blasting that team to the right, whatever. And like the normal,
I think a lot of that got lost in translation.
It must have. Because at one point they're like about to be at a ribbon cutting ceremony randomly in the middle of the theme.
Like, I
don't understand. I don't understand what was happening there. And it didn't even end up meaning anything because it was one of the episodes where the writers were like, well, fuck, we gotta put Team Rocket into this goddamn thing. Whatever, they're digging a hole and then they get shocked and that's the end.
Like,
I don't give a fuck. No, I don't give a fuck, Jerry. Shut the fuck up. No, Jerry, we're not having him come in with a goddamn balloon again, okay? Fuck off.
No, they're not gonna have the Pitzer Pod.
No.
Mark 3. No.
No, fuck off, Jerry. Fucking Jerry.
Jerry, I know you have a fetish for James. It's fine, but like, stop. Stop, Jerry.
And
There's not enough room. Let's put in this mediocre Pokemon battle.
What'd you think of the whole episode, Nick?
I gave it 1.5.
I gave it 2 because I don't care. Like whatever. Like the battle was mildly entertaining, I guess.
Like we struggled to give Falconer to describe Falconer's personality.
Bugsy
has even less of one.
Yeah, this episode didn't have any kind of arc. There wasn't like any kind of message or Ash didn't learn anything.
It was just an obstacle.
He wasn't changed by his journey. It was just like, I gotta do this badge now. I got it. And then at the very end,
they're leaving Azalea Town, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we forgot to pick up the Pokeballs."
By all fucking coincidence, here comes
Gloigashoid has to make a third appearance and gives them the Pokeballs, and then Misty and Ash get a Lure Ball. Brock gets the Heavy Ball.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna change this one to 1.5, because I forgot at the very end, they're like, "I'm gonna take the Heavy Ball. I'm gonna take the Lure Ball.
And I'm going to take the Lure Ball that's left."
And it's like, okay, you were right, man. The writers for this one just were not on it at all.
Like, the moves were wrong. The
dialogue didn't really make sense.
The dialogue didn't make sense. This whole, like, momentum of the show was off.
There was no arc. There was no character in Bugsy at all, minus the one gag he does where he's like, "I'm stuck in the tree." Which, I guess that's a gag? That would have been a better gag.
Bugsy? Yeah.
That would have been a better gag if he trained like a cat Pokemon.
It always bugs me when when Ash just immediately battles the gym leader.
Yeah.
Because that's not how that works.
There's no setup.
What about all the fucking gym trainers we have to fight?
What about all the other gym trainers? What about any kind of setup?
What about the traps in the gym? Like
And is every episode that involves a gym leader in this season gonna be the entire episode is the battle, which okay, cool. But it's like, come in, have some dialogue with the gym leader, battle. That's it.
I'm pretty sure Whitney's a 2-parter. Next episode.
Alright, Nick. Episode number 147.
A Farfetch'd Tale?
Yeah, so this episode is all about how Farfetch'd loses his tail. And he's sad.
I mean, it's not really much of a tail.
So Winnie the Pooh is like, well, we'll go find yourself a new tail. And he's like, okay.
Oh, that's Eeyore.
Oh. Damn, what was this one then?
So off recording, we were talking about the Orange Islands.
Yeah.
It was like that.
It was like Orange Islands?
It was like the whole season of Orange Islands.
So like we find a character who has a Pokemon who does a job, and we follow him around for a while, and then nothing really happens.
Yeah.
I mean, something happens in this one.
Okay, and the kid sucks, so I guess there's some added flair to it.
Okay, see, there you go. That would make it more like Indigo episode.
Ah, that's true. He's like so Sylvester's like the evolved form of that Gloom lady from way back when.
God, yeah. He is so self-deprecating and just like, I'm terrible.
Like
My life is bad.
Like you feel bad for saying he sucks because he does suck.
He does suck.
But he's aware of it.
Yeah, like if you're aware of it to that degree, man, change your outlook on life a little bit. Like do something, help yourself out.
Or get better. Like be more assertive with your Farfetch'd.
Yeah.
Learn the names of your moves.
We're introduced to this character, and he's shouting at Farfetch'd, "Come on, Farfetch'd, use Cutting Attack!" And I'm like, oh man, he's getting the name of the move wrong, but that's okay. It's not like this is the only move that he needs to learn for his fucking father to do his job. Like, literally, this is the only move in all of Pokemon that this kid needs to learn how to do.
Plus, he's making it more complicated. Just say cut. As in cut trees. You don't cutting trees.
Yeah.
That's not how you say words.
Farfetch'd cutting trees. And Farfetch'd's like, I don't understand, man.
Your sentence structure is messed up.
Yeah, this isn't how you... That's not grammar, man. That's just not how you do grammars.
Can we mention that Brock was a detective for like a hot second?
Frame, yeah.
He said, "I'm just trying to help you, kids."
I don't remember what the context was, but yes, he was a detective.
Brock was checking out the map, saying, "Oh, and according to this map, we're right at Alex Forest," and Misty was all, "Yeah, but every time you check your map, we get lost a minute after." And then Brock turns into a detective and then interrogates Misty for harboring drugs.
You know what, though? Misty might have a point there.
She does.
It's kind of sad. Team Rocket's being whiny bitches in this episode, too.
They're hungry.
I mean, yeah, they're hungry. They don't have money.
They keep spending their money on giant robots. They don't have enough for food.
That's really on them at that point, isn't it?
I just realized that, like, the most technologically advanced thing Team Rocket had in this episode was a net. That's like the opposite of what they've been doing so far.
They're one of those people that they just go to the extremes. Like, they have no money, so they can't do anything. Then they have a little bit of money, and they buy it on the most expensive thing.
Don't trust them with 401k.
No. They come across the Farfetch'd, and they're like, we'll steal the Farfetch'd, and we'll sell them for...
Because the Farfetch'd went missing because he was running away because Sylvester sucks.
Yeah. Sylvester tells Ash and crew, who were like, "Hey man, you're using that move wrong. It's called Cut Attack, not Cutting Attack."
And actually, it's just called Cut.
Yeah, it's just called Cut.
Whatever.
So he's telling about this job. He has Farfetch'd that helps him cut down wood to make purifying charcoal. And Brock is like, "Oh boy, I love purifying charcoal." And he said it in a way that made me think he had never heard of purifying charcoal before.
I love purifying charcoal. Why don't you tell Misty and Ash about it?
I wanted Sylvester to be like, "Why don't you tell them about it since you know so much?"
I'm a rock-type gym leader.
Actually, Brock knows all about it. Yeah, he tells them all about the purifying charcoal.
And he knows how to make this really good recipe.
Apparently, this charcoal makes water amazing or something.
It makes water pure, and it's good for the air as well.
Isn't that based off a real thing?
No.
I don't think it's charcoal that does it, but I think it's based off a real thing. I could be out talking about it.
I don't know. Might be charcoal.
It made the
Forrest fun fact it later.
It made the message of the episode sound like coal is amazing, guys.
Coal is different than charcoal.
That's true.
If there was a coal guy and he was like, "Yeah, we're just checking in this cave looking for some purifying coal," I would call bullshit. But charcoal, I don't know enough about charcoal to be like, that's wrong. So I'm gonna let it slide.
I think it's not amazing for the environment, but it's not fucking coal.
Yeah,
I think that's the deal.
It's not a fucking fossil fuel.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why Ash was calling Professor Oak this time around. Wait, why the fuck was he on the phone with Professor Oak?
Why was he on the... Oh,
why was he on the phone with Professor Oak?
He was giving him a status update.
Was that it?
Yeah, he was like, "I just got the Hive badge, and now we're gonna go find out where the third badge is."
And Professor Oak is like, "Alright, hang on to that thought. I'm about to get gangbanged by a bunch of your Pokemon. This is... Oh god.
Oh god.
Every orifice.
The Kingler is so really hard.
Oh Jesus. Help. Tracy.
No, damn it, I killed you, Tracy! Damn it! Brock finds out by map consultation that the next gym is in Goldenrod, which...
But first they gotta help out this kid.
Yeah.
Because we're invested in him now, I guess. We meet his dad. His dad's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, a little bit. You can see where his self-deprecation comes from.
Yeah. They really should have resolved that a little bit better with the dad, because he was just kind of like... The dad was just kind of a jerk.
I think
it's just...
I think the idea is that that's just supposed to be that old stagnant dad. Like I work hard, so my children should work hard.
Yeah.
Kind of dad. And
yeah.
Sylvester might not necessarily be cut out for that. Also, it looks like there isn't a mom in the picture, so he's probably gristled by that.
I wrote down that the voice acting in this episode was weak. And I think I wrote that down when Sylvester was talking to Nurse Joy, and Nurse Joy's voice actress just did not give a shit. She was just like, "Hello, Sylvester. Oh, that's too bad. Well, why don't you try looking for your Farfetch'd?" And Sylvester's like, "Help! Help me! I am so sad. I can't find my Farfetch'd. Like, this is really bad."
Okay, well, think about it from Nurse Joy's perspective. Sylvester's an admitted loser. He probably does this shit like every other week. So,
you know, you might have a point there.
So Nurse Joy's just like,
you might have a point there.
"Why don't you go look for your Farfetch'd where it was the last time?"
Nurse Joy's like, "I basically am in a service job. I hate this." I hate kids.
So the Farfetch'd isn't there, by the way.
Yeah, this Farfetch'd kind of runs away because the kid's shitty and fuck you. I'm glad that doesn't happen in the games. Like, if your Pokemon's unhappy enough, it runs away.
It runs away and you have to go, like...
Go find it.
Go find it, or just, like, accept. Okay, I guess...
I guess it's gone now. I need to do better.
We meet Team Rocket again, and Meowth goes against continuity and smells something with his nose that doesn't exist.
And it's not like this has been like a one-time thing where we established that Meowth doesn't have a nose. This has been addressed like several times.
It was a running gag.
Yeah. So why all of a sudden can Meowth smell things? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he can only smell like good things.
Maybe he smells with his whole face. Like, his whole face is consistent, but
then why wouldn't he have been like, "Oh, it smells so bad," and then covering up his face?
Why is it? And it's also been established that because he doesn't have a nose, he literally cannot smell things. I don't know.
But they find butter rolls, but there's only 2 of them.
And James doesn't get fed, so James spends the rest of the
like
episode
Jesse was fucking complaining about it,
yeah.
And then James was like, "Okay, I guess you don't have it," and then they both took them, one each, and
they didn't even try to divvy him up or anything. They're just so... That was so shitty.
That kind of goes against the dynamic I've had for Team Rocket. Like, they at least help each other.
They do.
But not this time.
All they had to do was split each roll into 3 equal parts. Divvy them up that way.
Or Meowth and Jesse each cut off a third of their thing. But then they find Farfetch'd. And there's a little mini battle between Arbok and Lickitung
and Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd holds his own.
He does.
The show kind of makes Farfetch'd seem, at least in this episode, a little bit better than he is.
Yeah, like, it's like using its leak effectively to block off attacks and stuff. So then they have to take away the leak using Lickitung's tongue. And then they just caught Farfetch'd with a net.
Yeah. And Farfetch'd is like, "Oh man, I guess I kind of suck." And they're like, "Haha, sorry."
Haha, sorry, you're ours. We're going to sell you.
You're ours now, though.
Highest bidder.
Highest bidder. One thing I really liked about this episode, all of the Pokemon come out for a change.
Except Goldeen and Staryu.
But all of Brock's Pokemon come out, all of Missy's Pokemon come out, all of Ash's Pokemon come out. They actually use their fucking resources.
Yeah, to go out and spread and look for Farfetch'd.
Yeah. Whereas most of the time, they're just like, "I'm going to send out one Pokemon to try to find this Farfetch'd that could be fucking anywhere.
Here, let me use my Marill with its super fucking goddamn herring, or my Venonat with its disappointing radar thing that's never established in any other continuity." But no, they actually went out and spread, and that was smart. How did Heracross communicate to everyone that he found?
Probably talk to Pikachu.
But how did he talk to Pikachu? And then how did Pikachu go to all the other Pokemon and come back to Ash? Like, I understand Misty and Brock took their time to get back because they were probably
looking elsewhere. Fucking. Alright, Onyx. Do a stakeout for us? We're going to have some alone time here. I'm going to show Misty some moves, if you know what I mean.
That I learned from Ivy. Crap, there's 2 of I don't have any triplets with me. I can't do maneuver 3.2.
God. What are the triplets doing?
I don't know.
The hell? Never mind.
Brock learned some shit from Professor Ivy, man.
Apparently. Okay. Ash's Pokemon find Team Rocket and Farfetch'd, and they break out Farfetch'd from the net using razor leaves and stuff.
Before that, Sylvester tries to reason with Team Rocket
Yeah.
that he's going to be in a lot of trouble if he doesn't get that Farfetch'd back. When has that ever been a compelling reason to give someone something?
No.
If I were Team Rocket, I'd be like, okay.
Sounds
And that's what they
even better.
did. They said,
Yeah.
well, prepare for trouble.
Yeah.
Make it double. And then they did their anthem, and I was like, oh, that's actually appropriate.
It is, yeah.
It fits.
But it was still kind of in line with his character, just kind of that the
He's
character
pathetic
messed
enough
up.
that he's going to be
pathetic.
like,
Yeah, and they actually gave him a reason to be pathetic by making his father a dick.
mm-hmm.
I still didn't think they settled that too well, but hey, they had a semblance of stakes and an arc in this one.
We'll get to that when we get to that, because I think
will.
they at least started the...
They did.
Recovery.
Like, they set it up. So all the other Pokemon come in, Misty's and Brock's, that is, come in.
Team Rocket was actually holding their own this
Yeah,
time.
they were. They eventually lose because reasons.
Farfetch'd. The leak is knocked out of the way from Team Rocket, and so Sylvester catches it and gives it to Farfetch'd, who, like, just flew away.
Yeah.
Farfetch'd cuts a tree to block Team Rocket.
Farfetch'd cuts through a goddamn tree.
A tree.
With a leak.
Farfetch'd
With one swipe.
Farfetch'd is good at cutting, man.
Jesus.
I mean, that's what a Pokemon move does. It strengthens whatever they're going to do in order to do whatever the move is.
Like, good God.
Like, you'll see it later, but when Pokemon use Iron Tail or something, their tail will expand and start glowing, and then their tail will hit.
So how did Team Rocket actually get blasted off?
Pikachu uses Thunderbolt.
Okay.
Which brings up a question that I've never actually asked before today. Pikachu uses Thunderbolt. That's electricity.
Yeah.
Does electricity launch things by itself? Like, if you're struck by lightning, are you going to get blasted off into the hemisphere? I don't think that's how that works.
No, because electricity is always trying to go toward the ground.
Ground, yeah. So
Now, keep in mind, I am not an electricity expert by any means, but I don't think the point of electricity is to launch something into the air.
like, I don't think that's how that works. I think we've been watching all these episodes and it's just been wrong this whole time. Like, in order to get launched into space, they need, like, Heracross to use Tackle really hard, or Squirtle to use Water Gun, or something that pressurizes.
I mean, in this show, like, water will collide with fire and it'll make an explosion, so I don't know what you want from me right now.
I don't know.
Don't know what you
I don't
want
know.
from me.
One more thing. I wish James was always in Victory Bell, like the way he was in today. Feet first, so he's just wearing Victory Bell like a little...
Like fucking Mega
sleeping
Slowbro.
bag. Because that was adorable.
That was actually. Victory Bell never does shit anyway, so might as well just be a James sleeping bag.
Like, he uses razor leaf every once in a while, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he can probably do that while he's eating James, so...
I wish they gave Victory Bell a little bit more personality rather than just eats James. Because it's just a prop Pokemon at this point.
It has a cool cry.
It sort of does, I guess. That's all it is. Like, that's all it is.
We're gonna call you Victory Bell.
So they reunite Farfetch'd with the dad, and the dad's like, I respect you now, kid, because you actually did the fucking chores like a goddamn slave.
Farfetch'd then fucking made really, really good logs.
Yeah. And that was it.
And that was it. I felt like the father gave Ash and Crew something. Did he?
No.
No?
I could be wrong, but I don't think he did.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. He gave them charcoal.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he gave them charcoal.
Now Cyndaquil will be a little bit... Cyndaquil and Vulpix will be a little bit more powerful.
Yeah,
with
there
their
you
fire
go.
moves.
And Misty will just, I don't know, shove it up her veg or something.
Yeah.
She has no other use for it.
There we go.
Fiery crotch.
How many Voltorbs did you end up giving this?
I gave this one 2.5.
I gave it 2.5.
And that's actually lowered from 3.
Oh, mine raised from 2.
I bet for similar reasons. For me, for my original score at least. Because originally I was like, this one actually has like an arc and stakes are set up with like the character and it's very character driven. And then I realized like, none of those things actually end up connecting at a point. Like it was almost there. Like, for me, this was almost a 3, but they just kind of drop it at the very end.
See, that's funny. I'm coming from the opposite direction, because at first it was like, oh, great, this is just a follow character of the day, and they have a shitty look with their Pokemon. But then we were talking, oh, this guy has a reason he hates himself.
Yeah.
This guy, and
it's
so there's a minor story, and it's his dad. Like, there's some, like, mental and familial connections there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a half rating more.
Yeah.
So, that's funny.
They just kind of, like... but we still had, like, the same kind of problem with it. Which
Like,
is,
it wasn't connected enough.
But it was still, like, for me, it was almost there. It just needed a little bit more time in the...
Like, if there was a hug at the end, that would have been a 3 easy.
Yeah, because they did establish, like, the kind of sour relationship between he and his dad pretty well, all things considered.
Cool, so, next episode, then?
Next episode. All right, episode number 148.
Tricks of the Trade.
Yes.
So this is finally the fabled episode where, Ash just follows every random character of the day with a job. He follows a prostitute, and she teaches him the tricks of the trade. And, like, his Pokemon are able to, like, benefit from it, too, because, like, there's, like, a whole bunch of prostitute tricks that the Pokemon can do in order to, like, dodge better and stuff like that. It's a little gross, but, hey, it's educational. And it teaches you that sex workers are indeed people, too, which... I think, unfortunately, a lot of the country has forgotten that.
So this episode, we have a running of the Tauros.
And a trade convention. I don't know what the two have to do with each other.
I don't either. They seem to make it work.
Like, it's a thing.
To them, yeah.
It's a whole... I'm guessing
it's a whole thing.
It's a whole Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
So these are just
like
two of the events.
Yeah, the Dialga God of Time is on their side again because they come right in time for the start of this fucking festival.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this character of the day who has this Wobbuffet. And he's raised it really well, and he wants to trade it so that he can get a...
Pokemon. He just wants to trade it.
It's a very, like, communal thing, I think, where everyone's just like, yeah, we're going to raise... Pokemon really well, so that way we can trade them and then we can make someone else happy.
Pokemon. Yeah,
that's cool. It's pretty cool.
Did we learn this guy's name? Like, they introduced each other, but I don't think that he ever said my name is Bob.
I'm gonna call him Poopy.
We call him Bob.
Okay, we'll call him Bob.
Okay, there you go.
He probably has a name.
Force fun fact it later, and then use your imagination with the force fun fact. So every time we say Bob, we mean this character's name.
Okay. So Bob has this cool Wobbuffet, and it's just like they don't really explain it, but I don't think they really needed to. That everyone just kind of wants to trade the Pokemon, and it's like a sense of accomplishment. They can get it traded.
Yeah.
And they can get a new Pokemon out of it. It's not that they dislike the Pokemon they have or anything. They just,
it's the part of the trading thing.
Yeah, it's like a tradition thing. It's pretty cool. But I love the running of the Tauros. I thought that was so fun.
Because it's like they're in Madrid.
Yeah.
It's like, great.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to go. Ash was going to do it, but he chickened out. It was funny. And then they had like a Tauros, like, headbutting championship.
Like a Tauros, like
battles, sort of.
The strongest Tauros wins kind of thing.
And Ash's Tauros, he gets his Tauros from Professor Oak. Ash's Tauros won.
I think he cheated, though.
Why?
Because no one was using, like, actual Tauros moves. They were just saying, okay, Tauros, be stronger than the other one. Like, they were just literally, like, butting horns and then trying to flip over the other.
Everyone else only taught their Tauros strength.
But, like, that seems... No, I don't buy it. Like, Ash wins by saying, alright, Tauros, use takedown attack. Like, it's not about attacks, it's about strength. They're like... When you're arm wrestling someone, you don't punch the other person in the face. I mean, at least
yes,
I
do. Because I'm going to lose otherwise. So I punch him with my weak arm. Right in the face.
Right in the face.
And then I still lose because I'm weak.
Oh, and then they just get the testosterone from the anger. It's like, well, okay. And then they win.
Yeah, and then they give me a swirly and... shove an umbrella up my ass and open up the umbrella inside my ass, and it hurts a lot.
Where are you getting this from? What have you seen or heard that it comes with an umbrella? Jesus.
So Team Rocket has a really, I guess you could call it a good plan because it works.
First,
there's a very obvious flaw in it, but it works in spite of that.
So they get money, first of all, in order to pay for the Pokeballs.
Yeah. A shit ton of MC Pokeballs. Which, I mean, I guess there's something else that they could have done with those Pokeballs, but whatever.
They could have caused like some Centrets or something.
There's something.
Gratis.
Yeah. Whatever. And they build a little, the trade machines, they build one of those so that people put the Pokeballs in the trade machine for the official trade.
And this one's fancy because it levels the Pokemon up at the same time.
Yeah. Except it doesn't because it has Meowth in there and he steals the Pokemon.
And there's also tape on this machine
and
and it's
no
obviously made of cardboard. How?
They can build a fucking giant-ass goddamn ride-on machine.
But they can't make a convincing trade machine.
Yes. Just don't use tape, man.
Why did Ash give Professor Oak his hair across? Like, I understand Professor Oak wanted to see the hair across, but ultimately it should be up to Ash, and for team diversity, he should have given him Bulbasaur or Chikorita.
I don't think it was Ash's intention to leave the Pokemon behind permanently, though.
You don't think so?
Not yet, at least.
Not yet? Okay. I just don't remember seeing Heracross for, like, the rest of the season, or the rest of Johto.
Well, goodbye, Heracross. It was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
You and your personality of
the sap eating.
Sap. I don't think I'm going to miss Heracross that much.
Yeah, nah.
Cool battle Pokemon, but didn't have much personality.
Chikorita is really the only Johto personality Pokemon so far.
So far, yeah. So far.
Cyndaquil was cute, but...
Cyndaquil's entire personality is, I'm cute.
I'm cute, and I can dodge.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Fuck, you're dodging.
So, yeah, they do the trade machine, and Team Rocket swaps out real Pokemon for empty Pokeballs.
Ones.
And no one sends out their Pokemon after
You're like, whoa, look at this cool Pokemon I just got. Wait, what?
Yeah, like, if I was trading a Pokemon, and the first thing I'd want to do as soon as I got that ball in my hand was I would want to send it out and see what the fuck they look like. But no one did that.
No.
So, I guess...
Team Rocket kind of deserves the win, I think.
Everyone's
gonna be that dumb.
Like, everyone, no one's gonna even bother just to check, just to see, oh yeah, this
you had your Pokemon out beforehand.
Yeah. Just to be like, oh hey, yeah, this is the Pokemon that you promised to give me, and it is. Because you could be a dick and be like, yeah, I'll trade you my Dragonite for that Rhydon, and then swap it out for a Caterpie last second.
That's a dick move.
It'd be a dick move, but you know people in the Pokemon world would really do that shit. That's why you gotta check, like, you fucker.
Remember that guy with the Sandslash? He's probably one of those people.
Probably. Speaking of people that we've run into before,
James!
Yeah, James comes across an old friend.
The Magikarp goddamn salesman.
Yep. Couple things about this guy, actually.
So he changes his plan up a little bit. Instead of, like, the Magikarp being out of gold, he just says, like, you can sell the Magikarp eggs.
Yeah.
For 100 things each and get billions of dollars.
And James almost falls for it again, but then he's like, oh, wait a second, this sounds really fucking familiar. Have I done this before? And then the guy is like, no. And he's like, yeah, you're the same guy from back in the St. Anne episode who sold me that stupid Magikarp.
And so then, and this guy, thank you, Magikarp salesman, he grabs Pokeballs, aims them at his booth, and catches his booth. Pokeballs are used for storage. Confirmed.
It took 148 goddamn episodes to confirm it, but it's been confirmed.
Our theory is correct.
Our theory was correct. A theory that we established way back in, like, episode 7 or something like
I think
that.
so. Makes you wonder why backpacks are even a thing. Oh, you keep the Pokeballs in the backpacks.
In the backpacks.
There you go.
But still, like, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Do you think maybe they make different Pokeballs for items and different ones for Pokemon?
There's probably, like, a Pokemon mark, but you could probably, like, if you're strapped for catch, you could probably use an item Pokeball for a Pokemon. Probably not the best situation, but... Yeah. And that's why they're really hard to catch with regular Pokeballs. You gotta use a Great Ball.
Yeah.
And if you're using a Great Ball on an object, well, then you're just dumb and being inefficient.
Yeah, because that doesn't... Okay, cool. Wow, yeah, you just spent more money for the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's your Pokemon? Okay, that's really hard to catch. Good. Nice. So Ash chases this Magikarp guy out of, like, fury.
James does.
James, yeah. What did I say, Jesse?
You said Ash.
Oh, so James chases the Magikarp salesman, knocks Jesse into the air and onto a trading booth right as
Wobbuffet guy.
Wobbuffet Bob was going to trade for a Stantler.
Wobbuffet Bob.
Wobbuffet Bob. Can we talk about Stantler Trainer's hand and how it was really badly animated?
It's so weird because otherwise the animation in this episode was pretty decent.
Everything but that guy's hand.
Literally, like, I'm going to put a picture of it up on the YouTube version of this episode, but my god, it was kind of embarrassing. It's literally just like a vague outline of what a hand should probably look like.
Even in the far shot, it's his right hand that's messed up. His left hand's at least fine.
Maybe he's just like, he has a shitty hand.
I mean, it's possible. I've seen those, yeah. So Jesse accidentally traded a Pokemon for a Wobbuffet.
Yeah. We don't know which one yet, but...
We could see the outline, but I think they did it fast enough that if you didn't catch it, you don't know.
I kind of didn't catch it, because I was writing a note.
Oh. Word is spreading that...
These Pokeballs are goddamn empty.
Because of course
they are. So they find and corner Team Rocket, who tie up everyone?
Yeah, Meowth has like a little gun that like shoots out a rope that is able to lasso
Man,
everyone.
they went from no money to plenty of money pretty quick in between.
They were good salesmen.
Yeah.
Then they activate Team Rocket activates their vacuum that they have up in their balloon, and that starts grabbing all these random other Pokeballs. And Ash is like, what if we use the Tauros? Why don't you use a
any other Pokemon?
Or a flying Pokemon, or a fire, or any other Pokemon.
Like literally, like other than like Diglett, I think that's like the weirdest choice of a Pokemon that you could use against a flying balloon.
Like, it's weird.
Even Sandslash is known for rolling into a ball and jumping high. Like, come on, what the hell?
So people start sending out their Tauros, or Ash and one other random guy sends out his Tauros. And then the Tauros, like, tackle Team Rocket into their balloon, which so happens to break the balloon. Like, Ash, you can't fucking plan that.
It was a very specific plan that somehow worked.
So Team Rocket goes flying off. But
the sack of Pokeballs falls down, and everyone's like, oh, awesome, we got our Pokeballs back.
But what's this? A second level of deception?
Yes. They swapped out those Pokeballs for empty
more
Pokeballs
empty ones.
Too.
So good job, Team Rocket.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Wow. I was like,
go ahead and get away with this plan.
Is literally the most competent we've seen them in a long-ass fucking time.
I think this tops their alien abduction one.
Yeah, I think that's like an even better plan than that one.
Yeah.
It's very impressive, honestly. I don't know, the alien abduction is still my favorite.
I mean, it's my favorite, but as far as like planning, it's better than that.
So Ash and Misty and Brock,
having launched Team Rocket so many times, they know where they are. That's the only theory I can come up with.
They just find them immediately. And even Team Rocket's kind of like, what? How would you do that?
We flew. Whatever. They start battling.
Whatever. They start battling. And Jesse sends out Lickitung, and
it's Wobbuffet.
It's Wobbuffet. Jesse's like, what the fuck?
And
What's
so,
this
like,
thing do?
James has to, like, read this encyclopedia that's like, Wobbuffet is the patient Pokemon. It can't attack on its own. And Jason's like, what? So then she figures out counter's a thing, and Chikorita, in today's mechanics, can't do anything. But in second generation's mechanics,
she would have to use Mirror Coat, not counter.
Yeah.
Mirror Coat was around back then.
Mirror Coat was, but, like, Wobbuffet's only been using counters so far.
It only used counter.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because if it had used... And the way they made it work in the anime, it sort of makes sense, I guess, for the functionality of the anime.
Yeah.
It blocks the attack and sends it back instead of taking
a hit and then
reversing the...
I feel like that would be harder to animate. Like, how do you take the attack? Like, does Wobbuffet all of a sudden, like, grab the vines and throw them back? It's weird.
Exactly.
So then Pikachu uses Thunderbolt, and that... You can't counter that because it's not Mirror Coat, and then Team Rocket goes blasting off.
And then we find out that Bob fucking loves his Lickitung.
Like, apparently Jesse trained a really good Lickitung.
Yeah.
And Lickitung's really happy.
Yeah, Lickitung's happy. way happier than it was with Jesse, so hooray.
Yay! Good for you, Lickitung.
Good for you, Lickitung.
And Bruce said poor Wobbuffet, but I think I remember Wobbuffet in other episodes. Wobbuffet enjoys his time with Team Rocket.
I think he will. Well, Wobbuffet was pretty cute.
Yeah, remember when I said I'm waiting till...
Was it Wobbuffet?
It's Wobbuffet.
Back when we did our favorite Pokemon from the anime, like characters from the anime.
Wobbuffet's my top Pokemon.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, he was pretty cute. And so what did you think of this episode, Nick?
I gave it 2.
You gave it 2?
Yeah, I mean, just because... No, I'm going to give it 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2.5. Because it wasn't really compelling. It was just story. It had good lore, but there weren't really anything that made it stand out really above. The only thing really is that they introduced Wobbuffet, and
I thought it was a fun episode. Like, I just had fun watching it. I did think they set up the lore really well. It was a little weak on, like, the story arc and stuff like that, but other than that, I thought, like, I had fun with it, and I enjoyed it, so I gave it 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess that's it?
It's not a bad episode, no.
No, it's not bad. No. It's better than the other ones we've reviewed so far.
Yeah, of the 5 that we reviewed today, this was the best.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's better than Farfetch'd.
It was.
So it's like 2 3/4 for me, really. 2
3/4. I accept that. Alright, Nick, are you ready for...
Pokemon of the day?
Pokemon of the day!
Pow!
Alright, Nick, are you ready?
I am.
For this one?
I am. Audience, I'm going to confess, we're recording on 2 separate days. I didn't have quite enough time, either today or on the previous day, to record. But for shits and giggles, I picked a number. And Forrest told me to remember that number.
Yeah.
And if
I haven't revealed to him yet what it is.
And if it's something like Stantler or something, I'm going to punch him, and you're going to hear me punch him. So, yeah, 112.
112, Nick.
Yeah.
112. Oh, God, I'm so excited.
Oh, shit, okay.
It's Rotom. The Pokemon of the day is Rotom.
You're very more excited than I... Okay, nice.
I love Rotom. Rotom is, like, literally one of my probably top 10 favorite Pokemon.
Damn, now I actually do need my 3DS. Oh, well. I remember the one I trained. Well, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Rotom. Awesome Pokemon. It is an electric Pokemon that can be, like, one of 6 different types?
6.
6.
Because it's got space and then 5 machines.
Yep. Do you have a favorite Rotom form, Nick?
The one I have trained is primarily a fire type. The oven. The heat form.
Heat form? I guess I pull up the Bulbita so I can get these...
official terms.
Yeah, right.
I just like the idea of that double weakness to ground. It's completely
gone. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Also, it's like a spit in the face of Electivire and Magmortar, because it's like, haha, you two are related, but you're only solid types. I'm both, bitch. And it's the it's the only Pokemon that has like unique types in electric fire, electric grass, electric ice, electric ghost.
Yep, just those. There's also another. Yeah. There are other.
Electric water.
There's been other electric waters, and now there's another electric flying.
Well, there's been electric flying.
Oh yeah, that's true. Fucking Zapdos stuff.
Yeah.
So in Generation 1, all Rotom forms were still
electric ghost.
And then Generation 1, Generation 4 when it was introduced. But
right.
then in Platinum, wasn't it changed in Platinum so that they were different types?
Platinum was the one that introduced the Rotom forms.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Generation 5, they became different types. And they get like an 80 boost in stats, which is pretty cool. Mostly in bulk, but a little bit in special attack as well.
They lose some speed, interestingly enough.
They do.
Though.
That is interesting. That's why my Rotom Ghost, my regular Rotom, I've trained 6 different Rotoms. One for each of the forms. Because I fucking love this Pokemon. My Rotom Ghost is a Thunder Wave, Electric Ball set with also Confused Ray and Hex.
That's a really annoying fucking Rotom.
But it's a good set.
It's a good set, but Thunder Wave and Confuse Ray.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then it's going to have some pretty powerful moves because of the paralysis.
And then it's going to be way speedier. It's timid.
So what do you do against Pokemon with Limber or electric Pokemon?
Confuse Ray.
No.
And then just
Run away.
swap,
Switch.
swap, or hit it as hard as I can with one of the other two moves.
With Hex.
Is there any Pokemon that's there's one? Wait, yeah, there's one ground normal type that would be immune to both.
Yeah,
Those types. So just Confuse Ray and then swap and hope it doesn't kill me.
Hopefully. Yeah, the one Rotom I have is the Heat Rotom. It's got Overheat, Thunderbolt, Substitute, and I think Shadow Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
I'm looking for another move for Substitute or maybe Shadow Ball. Just because I think it was when I was raising a whole bunch of Pokemon at once. I was like, okay, I'm just race. So I'm going to go over its moves later. I do want to train a Rotom Wash, just because apparently Rotom Wash is the fucking god of competitive battling.
For some reason, yeah. I
mean,
mean,
it's a Stolly Pokemon from what I hear.
It's Rotom Wash is probably my best Rotom. It's definitely not a bad Pokemon by any means, and it's also just from I think it's mostly its typing.
Electric water.
It's probably undoubtedly the best of the Rotom forms, but it's hard to pinpoint why that is, if that makes sense.
Right.
I think it's just because Grass is its only weakness, and you don't exactly come across a lot of Grass hitting moves, so attacks. No. So my Rotom Wash is it has the Wardium Z now.
Ooh.
With Rain Dance, so you can either do Wardium Rain Dance, which raises your speed, and then you have Hydro Pump in the rain, or Hydro Vortex in the rain, which it destroys whatever it hits, pretty much. Thunder, which in the rain is going to be 100 accuracy. And its other move is Hidden Power Ice.
Nice.
To cover those grass types.
Can it not learn Ice Beam? No, it can't.
No. The only downside to Rotom is that none of its forms can learn any moves that the original form cannot, besides the one move that swapped out.
Gotcha. I mean, it makes sense. That would be so much fucking work to code.
Especially for one Rotom that.
If it was a legendary, that would make sense, but Rotom is not. So
wasn't it originally supposed to be a legendary?
The way you encountered it, it was as if it were a legendary because they played the music and it was the whole spitting screen thing.
It's a good Pokemon.
It is.
It's a good Pokemon. It is very cute. I love it.
I think Professor Oak has one later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on. I love the Rotom Pokedex in the newest generation. He's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that thing's cute.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
If that was a competitive Pokemon, what type do you think it would be?
Steel Electric.
I could see that.
That's for sure. It'd be cool if they introduced a new Rotom form in one of the new generations.
We don't have a vacuum cleaner yet.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be. Electric Ground?
Yeah.
Electric Ground?
The fan one, though. That one seems to be the problem child.
It's because its typing makes its ability
redundant.
A little redundant.
I'll say completely redundant.
Yeah. If it had a different ability, but I understand why it doesn't. But it is useful, as a Rotom, it's still useful against Mold Breaker, Earthquake,
and for paraflinching.
So my Rotom fan is a little bit of a bulkier set. It has Air Slash, Confuse Ray, Will-O-Wisp, and Substitute. The idea being, I think he's more specially defensive, and then Will-O-Wisp makes him more physically defensive as well, and then he's a little bit speedier, and uses Air Slash and Substitute and Confuse Ray to kind of Parafusion, or Flinch Fusion?
Flinch
Fusion and Burn to heal up while he's under his Substitute.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I really like him. I think Rotom fan, I understand why he's not as popular, but I think he gets the short end of the stick a little bit with the popularity thing.
Lawnmower took a while to grow on me, but I liked its design now because the teeth, really.
Yeah.
So its teeth, it's
Lawnmower Rotom is fun. The good thing about Rotom is that Charge Beam is a stab move on it, so you can use that to kind of help negate the stat drops from
Leaf Storm and Overheat.
That's what I do with my Rotom Heat. It has Charge Beam, Will-O-Wisp, and Overheat. And it works really well. It's probably my second favorite to use.
Huh.
Because it just... The way it's able to stack and use bulk as well at the same time and keep dishing out those really powerful overheats works really well for me.
We haven't talked about Rotom Fridge yet.
It's also the weaker one with Rotom Fan.
Yeah, because it's ice and ice. I'm sorry, it's terrible.
It's not a terrible type.
What is a terrible type?
Rock. Ice is very useful offensively.
Offensively, yeah, but so is rock. The only problem that the only thing ice has over rock is that its moves are more accurate.
Yeah.
But rock is better because defensively, it resists more than itself. It doesn't resist itself, but it actually has resistances.
That is true. I will give you that. The electric typing gives it an extra resistance and an immunity with levitate. So there you go.
Well, there we go.
That's why I think it makes for a good ice type Pokemon if it's not like a great Rotom.
Yeah,
form.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. If you're making an ice team, I would suggest using Rotom Frost.
Ice. Rotom Frost.
Rotom Frost, or whatever it's called. Mine is a Rest Sleep Talk set with Ominous Wind and Blizzard.
Jesus.
Yeah, it works pretty well. If I can get a stat boost up, one time I was able to get 3 Ominous Wind boosts up in a row.
That's really... Fuck you.
Yeah, that's really fucking lucky. And I won that battle, believe it or not.
Because you got 3 Ominous Wind boosts.
Yep, in a row.
So, yeah, no, the other person's like, well, this guy's probably cheating somehow.
It'll never happen again. I've never had that type of luck ever again in Pokemon.
That's why you miss a lot with me, because you had those
Yep.
3 Ominous Wind boosts.
Yeah, I used up every piece of luck I will ever have with that.
Was it an important battle?
No, it was Battle Tree.
Ah.
It was just like Battle 8 of the Battle Tree.
Oh, not even like Battle 25 or
Nope,
anything.
just Battle 8. And then I probably lost Battle 12.
Well.
Because, that's how it is. I think the only Rotom set I haven't talked about of mine is Leaf with the Mo Rotom, which is my screen setter with Volt Switch, White Herb, and, of course, Leaf Storm.
Leaf Storm, because that's the only one it learns.
Yeah. So, set up Reflect, set up Light Screen, hit it with a Leaf Storm, hit with another Leaf Storm, Volt Switch out of the way to reset the stats.
Nice.
And then come back in, set up screens again, and then hit with Leaf Storm again.
So, I'm going to go ahead and rate Snubbull 3.
What?
I'm rating... Oh, sorry, not Snubbull.
I was like,
I have Snubbull in
what?
my notes.
Because we forgot to talk about Snubbull.
Yeah. I'm going to rate... Oh, Snubbull actually gets like 2. He gets 2. Rotom gets 3.
Gets 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, solid.
3
Solid
Voltorbs. Solid. 3 out of 4.
Are there any other Rotom sets that you would pick for your Rotom?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I pretty much did the Smogon set for Rotom, so my fire one can be swapped out for either ice, grass, or flying.
Mm-hmm.
But Wash is gonna be more defensive.
More defensive?
Yeah. So I don't. So Thunderbolts, Hydro Pump, and then probably Rest and something else. I don't know.
Will-O-Wisp or something?
Will-O-Wisp or something, yeah.
Maybe Sleep Talk.
Maybe Sleep Talk. No.
I love Sleep Talk.
I've seen, no, I don't have enough faith in it to trust it.
If your Pokemon is really bulky, it doesn't matter if you get Rest, usually.
Still, though, it's like a wasted turn, and I hate wasted turns.
Alright, anything else for Rotom?
No.
Cool.
That's it.
Awesome.
We're into Pokemon things
Poketalk.
of the day. Poketalk.
Poketalk. Remember, we settled on a name for it.
We did.
And then we forgot it.
And then we forgot it till just now.
Until just now. Random Poketalk time.
Poketalk!
Poketalk.
You said we should talk about something. The worst something. The worst moves?
The worst moves, yes.
Worst moves.
Or just our least
What are
favorite
worst moves?
Worst moves.
You want to give 5? I give 5?
How about 3?
3? Okay.
Or let's improvise. Let's see how long it takes to come up with
Okay. And then
3. And
okay.
then if we have time, we'll do 5.
Okay. I'll give you the first one because you said it first, and yeah.
Yeah.
It was cut.
Cut.
Yeah, you go ahead and say cut.
Yeah, cut. Cut's terrible.
Oh, are we just listing them? Oh, okay.
No. Cut. Let's give a reason. Cut's
Okay.
a terrible move because it's Scratch, but more powerful, but not as powerful as Slash or any other fucking normal type move that does
It
damage.
has accuracy of 95, doesn't it?
I think it has an accuracy of 100. Fly has an accuracy of 95.
That's what I'm thinking. No, Scratch is 100.
Cut might have accuracy of 95.
Because I remember
Fuck
missing
that,
a lot
yeah.
when I had to use it.
Yeah, like that's why it's a shitty move, and like you almost had to have it on one of your Pokemon, and now it's not a TM or an HM, and only one Pokemon can really use it, and that's Kartana. That's why it's a signature fucking move.
That's one of the worst signature moves.
It really is. It's useless. There's literally no reason to use cut. Which
Like,
is dumb.
Slash is the
because
better move in
yeah.
every single regard.
If cut had one other thing going for it, like if it was 10 points higher, then you could use it on a technician set. But its power is 50, so no. If it like did double damage, if it used it twice in a row, if it had a high critical hit ratio,
Nothing.
And by the way, I'm not going to include any starter moves like Scratch or Ember because there's a reason why those exist. They're
starting moves.
They're starting moves. Cut's not a starting move, so it doesn't count.
You know what else isn't the starting move? Vice Grip.
Yeah, that's such a weird move.
Like, it doesn't do anything, and it's 10 power.
Oh, God.
Like, either 10 or 20. Like, no effect or anything.
Yeah, it's just it does a little bit of damage.
Crabs learn it, and great. No.
Why does it do such little damage? Like, it's... The point of it is that you're, like, clamping on something.
Like, it's supposed to hurt, but...
Yeah, it doesn't... At least have it be like a binding move like Clamp.
No.
But no.
It won't.
I don't know if I'm going to say this is one of the worst moves in the game, but fucking Signal Beam needs to be a little bit more powerful or something.
What does Signal Beam even do?
It can cause confusion, otherwise it's like 70 base power.
Yeah, nah, Signal Beam is lame.
It's lame.
It's
just underwhelming.
Focus Blast.
Focus Blast is powerful. It's
Focus
at
Blast,
least powerful.
It's powerful, but
it's
70
so
goddamn accuracy, and there's
Yeah.
no way to alleviate that. Like, Thunder is 70 accuracy, but 100% in rain. Solar Beam, it takes its turn to charge, but not if you're in sunlight. Focus Blast, fuck you. 70 accuracy.
Yeah. You have to use like Mind Reader or something beforehand before it'll even work, and it's just
And how many people that
stupid.
like use Focus Blast and learn Mind Reader?
Yeah, I know. It's so not very many, and not many who would even like make use of it. And besides, you still have to like take a turn out to use it. Or the only other way to make it useful is gravity. Under gravity, moves have higher accuracy.
I always forget that about gravity.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got one more? Because I can keep going.
Yeah, go for it.
Rock Slide. Rock Slide needs to be powered up.
It does.
And Rock Throw's just a shittier version of Rock Slide.
Yes.
So both of them.
Yes.
Like, I can understand Rock Throw's at least a beginning move, so like...
I actually have a bigger gripe with Stone Edge being fucking inaccurate as fuck.
See, yeah, and Stone Edge is only 80 accuracy at least.
And only 100 base power.
But it has a higher critical hit ratio.
Yes, but it's still... I guess higher critical hit ratio is still pretty good.
But like, make it 90?
Yeah, at least make it like 90.
Because it only has 5 power points too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It needs to be... That's the other thing! Focus Blast only has 5 power points. Thunder and Solar Beam have 10!
Yeah, that's dumb. That's so dumb.
Jesus!
Oh, Sweet Scent.
Sweet Scent.
Sweet Scent.
Odor
when have
Sleuth.
you ever used Sweet Scent? No, Odor Sleuth at least will like let you. I'm pretty sure let you hit Ghost Pokemon with normal fighting moves.
That's true. You do.
I'm pretty sure. Sweet Scent, no, just lowers the evasion.
Sweet Scent was useful in 6th generation. That's how you started like all the swarm.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The horde battles?
Yeah.
Horde battles, yeah.
Well, I mean, Cut was useful for cutting down trees in 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th generation.
Yes, but like Cut you're done with by the mid game. Sweet Scent you can use to fucking train. Like that actually has a practical purpose. Teach it to a Tropius, it has fly, you're perfect.
That is true. That is true. Got any other moves that you really don't like?
Flash.
Yeah, Flash kind of sucks. Flash kind of sucks.
I'm glad they got... even before HMs were done, Flash was done.
Yeah. I mean, it needed, like, in double battles at least hit both opponents. Like, come on.
If it hit, because it had 70 accuracy.
Yeah, like, well, not anymore, but it did.
It did.
For a long time have 70 accuracy, which is so stupid. Alright, so I think the worst move in the game is Quash.
I'll grant... Yeah, okay. I can see why you say that. You can use it, but you have to be very specific again, like with Metal Burst.
Yeah, like I understand in what context it could be useful.
Like teach that to a fast Pokemon, so that way your slow Pokemon can move
before another Pokemon, but I would rather be able to paralyze the opponent or put it to sleep or something. That'd be a little bit more consistent. I mean, I get Quash doesn't take type into effect, but I would still rather be able to use, like, Protect or Wide Guard or Spore or something. I never have a reason to use Quash. Ever. Like, that's one move I've never taught any Pokemon. Ever.
Yeah, no.
Since it was even introduced.
I mean, Splash is even useful because of the Z-Splash.
Yeah. Now, Z-Squash does raise your Pokemon speed, but you still have to find a Pokemon that can use Squash, and not every Pokemon gets it.
It's only like Dark types, right? If I remember right.
Also, for some reason, Kingdra.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? Because it's like a hand that goes down. So why is Kingdra one of the...
Maybe
there's no hands or limbs of any kind.
Kingdra's a king, so just by royal decree it quashes you. That's weird.
So I guess if you were going to use Quash, it could be useful, like, Z-Quash, raise your speed, and then you can quash
all your opponents.
And then your Slowbro can make a move, and then you're fast as Kingdra?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's dumb.
It's such a dumb move. It's that, like, the circumstances for why that would be useful are so fucking specific.
Faint.
When
it was introduced was also really stupid.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work if they didn't use Protect or something.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now it at least will hit. And just also goes through Protect. But then it's just still really fucking weak, which is dumb.
It's like, what, 40, 50?
No, it's like 30.
30? No!
Let me double check. 30 power.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh. What's the question mark say? In Generation 5, in Generation 4, when it's introduced, it had a power of 50.
Because it didn't hit unless it was Protect.
Man, that required some fucking prediction then, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Why not just have it have base power of 40 then?
And, like,
Would that be overpowered?
No, it wouldn't.
I don't think so. Moves can be a little bit overpowered.
Yeah, moves can be already, like, it's not even overpowered. Like, it's not like you can use feints to, like, be like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna win. Like, because how often is your opponent using Protect, honestly?
Yeah.
Not every round.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, in that case, it would just be an alternative to Quick Attack that always basically hit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, come on. You can't protect against it or whatever. Like, that would be a cool... Like, Phantom Force fucking, like, hits through Protects. And it doesn't have a base power of fucking 40.
Phantom Force is a ghost move, and you can protect it. So, like, if you have a normal Pokemon on your team, be like, fuck you, switch out Pokemon.
Yeah, but Feint is a normal type move, so it's not going to be effective at all against, like, 3 different types. Alright, got anything else? Any other moves that you think are shitty? You're not a big fan of Sleep Talk.
I'm not a big fan of Sleep Talk. Okay.
It's unpredictable, but... Or it's not... I guess it's not super reliable, I should say.
Yeah, because...
But it can be very useful.
Because if you have Rest, there's a 33% chance you're going to use Rest again, and it doesn't work. And then you can't control which move you're going to use for the other two, so... In
Generation 2... Very overpowered move, though.
Because you could select, right?
No, in Generation 2, if you called Rest, you got healed back up to full health.
Whoa!
And restarted your Rest counter.
Jesus.
Yep.
I wonder if that's why I had such a hard time finding Snorlax.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Snorlax in Generation 2 was like a fucking god.
And Red had one.
And Red had one.
Red made me raise the Tyranitar because of that goddamn Snorlax.
Snorlax was a beast.
You
have anything else for this podcast, Nick?
Okay, folks. If you have something that you want, go out and go for it. But if you're gonna show up, make sure you actually mean something instead of just being into scenes and then not doing anything out of it, like Snubbull in that last episode that we just reviewed.
That we forgot to talk about.
He
was in another one too that we also forgot to talk about.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, and then Jigglypuff used to do that all the fucking time.
So Snubble's the new Jigglypuff.
It is, but slightly less obnoxious.
Yeah, because Jigglypuff
was terrible.
God.
It was like the god of being terrible.
Yeah, no, it was the worst.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Jesus.